Well, hey, welcome back. We are joined this morning by Sarah Greenbank, the Director of Student Success at Arkansas Connections Academy. She's here to give us some great information this morning.
Yeah, she's here to help us kind of decide high school seniors and parents, how can they get ready for obviously the end of senior year. I know it just started, so that sounds like a crazy question to ask, but how they can prepare for college. So what are some ways that seniors can right now start preparing for college?
Yeah, so right now you're going to want to start looking at the colleges you're interested in, looking to see what kinds of degree programs they have, and find some options. And then you're going to want to start looking at those enrollment requirements for those colleges. Some schools are going to want you to have taken a foreign language, or they want you to have certain scores on placement tests. So you're going to need to know what kind of tests you need to take, what kind of courses you need to make sure that you've had to get prepared for those applications.
And so once you've been accepted, all of that's done, a big part, scholarships. How do people find those scholarships and how do they apply for them? I know that was something that was really hard. I was an only child, so we had no clue what we were doing. And the only one we really knew about was FAFSA.
Right. So in addition to filling out the FAFSA and looking for government aid, there is the Arkansas Department of Higher Education, ADHE, has a website, the Scholarship Management System, Scholarship Application Management System, and that has where you can apply for all the different scholarships that are available through the state of Arkansas. Some other great opportunities to look for scholarships is if a student is employed or through their parent's employer. A lot of employers offer scholarship programs for employees and their students. Lots of companies also offer scholarship opportunities. Walmart has a community scholarship. Coca-Cola has a community scholarship that students can go on those websites and look for those opportunities and apply.
And for students who maybe struggle a little bit more in school, maybe they don't have the 4.0, but they've worked really hard. I think sometimes people get discouraged and think there isn't a scholarship for them because they don't have that perfect GPA. What would you say to them to kind of encourage them? There are still scholarships that you can apply for and that you can find.
Yeah, definitely there are. And so a lot of times I would encourage them to go to the financial aid office at their college because that is where you're going to find some of those more specific to your program of study. And so a lot of times students will be able to find those kinds of scholarships. Also, looking throughout the community, if you are involved in any kind of community organization or activity or even a church, a lot of times those offer scholarships as well.
What is that like? Yeah. Obviously you work with a lot of seniors and parents, so like what is that top question you get over and over again when they start this process?
I think that one of the biggest questions is about financial aid because we're all worried about how are we going to pay for school. A lot of things too are, what does my student need to be prepared, for college life? We always want to encourage students to build those independent living skills, open a banking account and start doing your own banking and kind of look at all of the campus life services that are available on campus and kind of navigate how you're going to use that so you can be really prepared when you get there.
And as people are preparing, getting ready to go, also applying for those scholarships, what would you say is the biggest thing people look for when going through those scholarship applications?
Yeah, so it just kind of depends on the kind of scholarship and what the eligibility requirements are for the scholarship. A lot of times you're going to need to write an essay or something like that. It's good to kind of have those things already prepared, like thinking about if I was asked to write an essay about something that has been difficult for me to overcome or, something like that. Have those kind of things kind of in your back pocket already so that you're ready and prepared for those essays. Doing extracurricular activities and participating in things outside of just school also kind of sets you apart, not only for scholarships, but on your college applications as well.
Awesome. When it comes to kids starting that process, what are some things they should look for when they're thinking about what the college is that they're going to choose?
Yeah, so I think that you're going to want to look at, again, what do you want to study? What do you want to do? And I think more so than just what are you interested in studying, but like what kind of a career is that going to allow you, when you have that degree or that study under your belt. I think that that's one of the important things to consider. I think it's also important to consider what the campus life is going to be like. Is it a big school? Is it a small school? How does the student feel about being at a large university, rather than a smaller college, campus? So those are some of the things that I think students should consider too when they're picking a school.
And how important would you say, because I always wanted to go to the U of A, loved the Razorbacks, but I realized that a smaller school is better for me when I stayed both places for a weekend. So how important would you say it is for students to do those campus visits, maybe even overnights if they have friends at those universities?
Yeah, I think that that's really important, and I think that that's a really great opportunity for students to be able to kind of see what campus life is going to be like, because, not every university is going to be a great fit for every student, and so I do think that it is important for students to kind of get a feel for it and get a taste of it, because if they're not comfortable on that campus, then they're probably not going to be able to be successful as a student.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. We'll have more from
feel
Sarah.
prepared.
Yeah. You ready to go to college?
Yeah, I'm ready.
We'll have more from Sarah in just a few minutes, but first let's go ahead and